Good evening, everyone. Right. If you can hear me and if you can see me, can you type a yes in the Q&A box? Can you type a yes in the Q&A box? If you can see me and hear me. We are about to start the session. Yes, I'm receiving some responses. Thank you so much. Right. Right. So I welcome you all for this evening to the awareness masterclass on Teach and Grow Rich System, which is a 5-stage of transformation from being a great teacher into a digital leader. Right. So this class is about the full detailed explanation of the 5 stages. If you are a teacher, or if you are planning to teach somebody, or if you are planning to take your career to the next level in the digital arena, this class will be creating some awareness in you. Right. So how many of you are ready right now? Can you type I am ready in the comment box, please? I am ready. Yes. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Shamsi. Thank you, Tanigainathan. Thank you, Minaj. Right. So you're all ready. I want you to take notes throughout the seminar. Right. So at the end of the webinar, you will be given some action notes, action points. You will be asked to do certain things. So take your notes clearly, so that at the end of the webinar you can snapshot it and save it. Right. So I'll start with some quick announcements. I would like to know how many of you are here for the first time seeing my webinar. I'm doing a lot of webinars. How many of you are new here? Can you type I am new here? I am new here. I would like to see your names. Yes, first time. Rajesh, welcome. Shamshi, welcome. Pallab, I am new here. This is my second webinar. Right, thank you. Sam is a newbie here. Right, good. Right, so many newbies are here. Right, so grab some pen and paper, and you can save this number. You can ask your doubts in this number with your name and email ID. I'll be telling this this action. This is where the result of this webinar goes. Right, so you have to ask doubts. You will have many doubts at the end of this webinar. Right, so I have condensed lots and lots of information, and you will have doubts. Right, so we will clear that one by one. Right, so before jumping into the webinar, I would like to know, how do you identify yourself? How do you call yourself? If you're a teacher, or if you're a professor, or if you're a researcher, doctorate, if you're an evangelist, if you're a coach, trainer, corporate professional, digital marketer, entrepreneur, business owner, school owner, right? How do you identify yourself? If you're a school teacher, right? Can you type? How do you identify yourself? Researcher, teacher and researcher. Good. Assistant professor, Shamsi, thank you. Lecturer, right. Mentor, lecturer, mentor, assistant professor. I'm a psychologist. Mohan T. Smitha is a psychologist. Good, thank you. Lecturer. Right, so the next question I'm going to ask you is, who are your audience? To whom will you teach? Right, so now you have identified yourself. To whom will you teach? Right, so I'm teaching all these people. I'm teaching teachers, professors, researchers, psychologists, even evangelist, coach, trainer. I'm teaching all these people. I know my audience. Do you know your audience? Can you type your audience? To whom are you teaching? Who are your audience? Who are your audience? Student, adolescents, aspirants who are into technical IT domain. Good. University students, anyone with a quest to learn, says Gausia. I want you to be specific, Gausia. You cannot teach everyone. You have to be specific. Can you specify the audience, all of you? School and university students, MSc chemistry students. That is why specificity comes into play. That is good. Engineering students, researchers. Good. Right. So with these two questions, now you have identified yourself as some teacher, right? So even if you are a business owner, you have to sell something by education based system, right? So you have to, last week I was talking to a diamond merchant. So he was telling me that he was teaching continuously about how to identify the good diamonds, how to identify the cuts of the diamonds, what diamond or the cost, the rates differences, all those things he is teaching to the audience, and then he is making a sale, right? So education is a part of new era. Education is going to be the part of new sales or new teaching, right? So anyone who is a Spanish learner says Monica, very good, right? So with these two questions, we are going into the session, right? So how do you identify yourself and who are your audience? If you are not clear in these two questions, this session will not bring clarity to you, right? So you have to have very good clarity on these two things. How you, if you're a trainer, who are your trainees? If you're a mentor, who are your mentees? If you are a businessman, who are your customers? If you are an institutional owner, to whom are you teaching, teachers or students, right? So a variety audience is the important thing here, not you, I mean, not how you identify yourself, right? So we are going to talk a lot about creating audiences. To whom will you teach? How will you prepare the market? And how will you penetrate the market? We all, a lot of points will be shared, right? So right, so this will be the agenda of this meeting. This will be the agenda of today's session, right? So I have written B till the end, right? Missing any slides, if you miss any of the slides, it will break the flow and understanding, right? So since you are at the comfort of your home, you will be having a tendency to move here and there, right? So sit in a place. So I'm going to give you some introduction about this system, about who we are, about what I do, and what my team does, right? So I'm going to give you an introduction, and then we'll have a quick 3-minute break, and then I'm going to prepare your fertile ground, that is your mind, because 80% yes, 80% of today's work is on the psychology, right? So if you're mentally prepared, 80% of work is done, right? So but if you have internal conflicts of getting into the digital field, it is a biggest hurdle, right? So preparing your fertile ground is my important part today, and after that we'll have a break of 3 minutes. So totally we will be spending 6 minutes as a break, and finally I'll be sowing seeds. I'll be getting deeper into the part where what you should do, right? So and then I will make you ready for the growth, right? So if you are ready to dive in, I'll go into this next slide, and feel free to take snapshots of the slide, right? So you can refer later. You can yes, I'm having some feedbacks. Shweta is saying that there is an echo in my voice, right? One second, I'll check into it. How many of you can hear my voice clearly? Can you type a yes again, please? It's clear. Okay, thank you so much. Right, so this is how today's journey is going to be, right? So when I say some important information, the first thing, you might go into a shock, right? So is this true? You might wonder, is this true, or why is he saying like that, right? So the action I want you to take is, don't trust a word I say, right? So double check it. You know all the resources where to check it. Whatever information I say, the things, right? So and some people will resort to the denial state, right? So they will be outright deny what I say. And the third thing is, you will be coming into an awareness, right? So that is why this class is named as awareness masterclass, right? I'm going to tell you clearly what is what, right? And if you are very aware of that, you change your consciousness into the acceptance stage, right? So you will let go of old attitudes and behaviors. You will let go, and then you will start experimenting it, right? So after accepting only, you will experimenting it, and your search in your life will take a very new directions, right? So that is the sixth stage. And once your search is in the different stage, you will go into the integrating of new skills, attitudes, new attitudes, right? So new attitudes will take you to new altitudes, right? So without that, nothing is going to change. So these are the 7-step cycle of change. You can snapshot it. I'll go again. First is shock, denial, awareness, and we are here today. This webinar is for this stage, right? So the other two you will have to do on your own. When you encounter new information, you have to test it. If you deny it, again test it, right? And then come into an awareness, right? So I'll start with a brief introduction about me. I'm a teacher who mentors research scholars, doctorates, entrepreneurs, and my own employees. Right. So my name is Asarya Samuel. People call me as Sam. Please remember me as Sam. Right. So I run these two forums, Aristocrat IT Solutions, where we help technology for technology seeking people, and the second one is Aristocrat Global Consortium for Researchers, right? So I'm nurturing a group of researchers. Nearly 1 lakh people are directly or indirectly associated with us, right? So I would like to see I would like to show you some of the photos of our mentorship programs that we take care in a lot of reputed institutions. So these are some of the photos, and these are my team. We have a intelligent team of technical people, and this is my office. And currently, we are located in Chennai IT Express Road, commonly called as OMR Road. Right. So if you have a chance to visit us, you are always welcome. After this situation improves, you can always meet us. Right. Right. So, as I told you, these are the things we do. We are a technology or research and development organization. We help in taking great teachers or entrepreneurs to the next level. So nowadays the next level is in the digital platforms. So that is the reason we are transforming through the 5-stage approach. Right. So we will quickly have a 3-minute break now. I have just completed the introduction. So if you are not settled now, I want you to settle now. Check your internet, right? And have a headphone, have a pen and paper, grab a bottle, water bottle, sit in a place, and I want you to concentrate. And we are moving into this part, preparation of your fertile ground. That is your psyche, preparing your mind. Once the ground is set, right, the building can be built very strong. Before building a skyscraper, the foundation should be laid, right? So you can save this number as Aristocrat, and at the end of this webinar I will ask you to send your doubts and notes, where we will take a new journey afterward, right? So that is the reason I'm asking you to save this number. So we'll come back by, time is 7:20, right? So we'll come back by 7:23, and we will begin with this slide, preparing your fertile ground, right? So here we go. The camera off. Getting chairman. I think people. Yes, I am back. If you can see me and hear me, can you type a yes again, please? So that I will know that you are with me. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chella Newton, Ravi Kumar, Gaushia. Thank you so much. Right. Right. So we will start with this one. Right. So preparing your fertile ground. When you are ready here, everything begins. Right. So I want you to know about a phenomena called as Dunning-Kruger Effect. Right. So I want you to Google this. Not now. After the webinar. Dunning-Kruger Effect is something. It goes like this. We human beings think that we know everything. Right. So it is otherwise called as illusion of expertise. Right. So if you are good in something, if you are good in physics, if you are good in chemistry, if you are good in training, or if you are good in anything, right? So we have a illusion, we have a self delusion, that we know everything, right? So uh, the main purpose I say this is to empty your mind, right? So at least for a moment, being sitting with an open mind, a boat, even if a beautifully built boat, if it is a rudderless boat, it cannot reach the destination, it cannot attain any goal. Rudderless boat is like a person, it's like a person who is very intelligent person without a mentor, right? So I want to stress the need of mentorship. You have to have mentors, not one mentor. You have to have many mentors who will guide you selflessly, right? So that is a point I want to make. And I say this because some people think they can do everything on their own, right? So far in my journey I have learned this: you cannot do everything, right? You need people, you need employees, you need mentors, right? So if you're venturing alone, if you're venturing it alone, as an entrepreneur, or as a digital leader, you definitely need mentors to learn. Mentorship always brings you some submission inside you, right? So that is the need for mentorship. And the second thing I want to say is, there is a Chinese proverb which says that fill your cup to the brim and it will fall, empty the cup and you can fill more, right? So I'm stressing on the need of unlearning things. So far, yes, you have seen many YouTube stars, you have seen Instagram stars, right? So I'm also going to talk about the digital transformation, right? So you already know many things what to do, right? So for a moment I want you to unlearn all those things. I will give you brief 5 chunks, 5 stages of what to do, one by one, and you can take notes, right? So the purpose of learning is to take actions with radical humility, right? So radical humility is the humbleness I'm talking, right? So if you learn humbly, you learn more. That is the purpose of learning, and many learned people miss out on that, right? So they fall into the academic ego. They identify with their positions, they identify with their qualifications, and then they lose their purpose in life of learning, right? So learning is a continuous process of taking actions, right? So uh, if you have got anything from any takeaways from this slide, can you please type a yes? Can you please type a yes? Something you have understood about mentorship, about the psychological preparation? Yes, yes, thank you. I'm receiving many yes. Right, thank you so much. I'm having two computers so that I can see the comments there. Right, thank you. Right, so we will move on to the next slide. Right, so there are some reasons to become digital leader nowadays, right? So the first reason is we are all becoming digital natives, right? So our native place doesn't hold any importance hereafter. Going abroad doesn't make any sense anymore. You can be anywhere, right? We can digitally connect. Schools are being shifted to the digital world, colleges are being shifted, churches, right? So many churches are happening in the digital space, in YouTube and other spaces, right? So the second reason is all your students are in the digital space. Even I am talking to you through the camera, right? So students, clients, customers, your tribe, your congregation, your patients, doctors do prescriptions, the first line prescriptions, they do it online nowadays. You can see many apps there. Your mentees are online, your employees are online. In my organization, our employees are working from home. We have 3 meetings daily, and we connect digitally, right? So they are all aspiring to connect to you through a device for first line interaction, right? So if you want to reach them for the first time, digital space is the only thing, right? So the third thing is, many people, they think that holiday lockdown is happening right now, right? Someday these holidays are going to over, and they think that something is coming back to normal, right? But the real thing is, some revolution or evolution is happening right now, right? So if you believe in God, either God or supreme power is revolutionizing the world through corona situation, right? That may be your belief. And if you are looking at the science, evolution through natural selection is taking place right now, right? So digitally fit species will be surviving, right? So I'm not telling this to debate or to argue, right? So you can see the situation, you can see how organization, companies are thinking about physical spaces. Why should I pay rent for such a big space? Why can't we run it from a small office, right? The scenarios are changing. That is the point I want to make. And if you think either way, permanent change is happening right now, right? And the skillfully fit people, if you have some certain skills, I will be talking about certain skills. If you have certain skills, we will survive and we will thrive, right? So I always tell people, only the fittest will survive and the smartest will thrive, right? Only the fit will survive and the smart will thrive. And somehow in this digital, already you can see schools, colleges, churches going online. Digital leaders are getting online, great teachers are getting online. So if you are having some hesitation, this is the time to address that. This is the time to address that. This is the time to change your perspectives, right? So this is the slide. You can take a snapshot, or you can take some notes on what you should change. That is the takeaway from this slide. What is your hesitation? What is your delay? Why are you not in the digital mode teaching students now? What is making your delay, right? So you can just make a note, right? And the second important thing you should do online is, you should go online is, these are the things we consume our informations for. We read blogs, we carry PDFs. We don't carry books, right? We carry PDFs. We see vlogs every morning. Your favorite people, the person you follow on the internet, you see video logs of them. You feel happy, you feel connected. And e-coaching is happening. What I am doing is e-coaching now, right? I'm not having a crowd, I'm talking to my computer now, right? So e-video courses, I buy courses, people buy courses, people spend money for that. They buy through online, they get a specialized login, they get into the course. They need not, it's not like the previous days, you have to go to a center. Those days are gone, right? So, and then ebook, right? I have seen people even reading religious books in e-format. Everything is changing, right? So this is the time, and these are the reasons to become a digital leader, right? So up to this slide, if you are with me, can you type comment as with you, please? I will be happy if you give a feedback that you are with me. Please go ahead. Yes, with you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you, Devi Prasad. Thank you, Minaj. Right, thank you so much. Right, so before diving into these things, I want to give some disclaimer. Some risks are involved in online getting, while getting into the online, right? I'm not saying that you can do everything and change your life. There are so many things. Knowing the information, this awareness class is going to give you some information. Knowing these informations and doing these informations are two different things, right? So taking action is the bridge between dream and reality. You might dream something and the reality is something, and action is the key, right? So that is the first point I want to say. This is a disclaimer. If you don't do things, nothing is going to change. The second thing is, your success depends upon your time and efforts, right? No amount of motivation plays here. You have to go do the hard work, right? So without sweat, nothing happens. I'm not, many people ask me, the title of this webinar is Teach and Grow Rich. Is this a get rich easy scheme? No, it is not a get rich easy scheme. It is a I'll tell you the definition of richness. It is associated with the heart. It is associated with compassion, right? So consistent hard work and commitment is the key. Consistent, when I say, throughout your life you have to work on it, and you will dedicate your life towards it. If you don't put your time, if you don't put your hard efforts, nothing is going to happen. And second thing is, if your audience is not receiving you, or if you don't have an audience, you cannot succeed. I'll explain this clearly. I have known people who are very very intelligent, and they create courses. And they hope themselves that they will sell in the market. Courses don't sell, people buy, right? So you should the first thing is, you should understand the market before creating the courses. That is called as market demand, right? So without market demand, market means the crowd, if they are not wanting to learn, they will not buy your courses, right? You cannot force and buy them, make them buy. So market demand is a very very important factor. You might say, I created the course as per you told, but nothing is happening. That means the market is not ready, right? So the third thing is, nothing happens for free, right? So everything has a money investment. When I do these things, when I put the time and effort, and it takes a toll on everything. It takes a toll on life, it takes a toll on my purse, money. Everything is related to money. Your mentorship, I have so many mentors, and so many books I read. All those books are costly, all those mentorships are costly. The tools I use, the very tool that we are connected right now, the Zoho tool itself is costly. The softwares are costly. Everything is costly, right? So you should have some investment before entering into some online market, right? So there is no difference between the offline market and online market. Both are same, but you will have to have some investment. Instead of buying some chairs and table and board, you will have to buy some electronic equipments, right? So I'll come to that. I will list also in the coming slides. So this is a disclaimer. And the thing is, the success factor, earning money online. If you want to earn money online, the 30% only depends on your product. 70% is reaching the market. They should know you. That is why these people, politicians, huge evangelists, coaches, big coaches, who have a lot of crowds, they invest so much in promotion. You might be receiving a lot of ads now in this. They know that you are locked down, so they want to target you. You are their market. So market promotion is 70%. Usage of technology platforms is 70%, and doing real sales is 70%. And only, some people ask me, I have a beautiful course, will it sell? It depends upon the 70%, right? So everything is available for free online, but if you package in a correct way, that is going to sell, right? So 30% of your core subject or product depends on the 70% of your promotion technology that you are using, sales, right? So this is the reason I told you, you cannot do everything. This 30% obviously is in your hands. This 30% is obviously in your hands. You have to dedicate a lot of time in producing. I'll be talking about the course curriculum preparation. Whatever field you are, if you have an audience, you should have a core subject. If you have a audience, you should have core subject, and you should be the authority for that, right? So up to this, are you clear? Can you quickly type a clear comment in the Q&A box, please? Go ahead, I'm waiting. Right, thank you. Clear, right? So we'll move on to the next skill set. I was talking about some things like time and efforts. So these are the efforts you will be taking care, right? If you do these things, I will explain this, right? So a lot of people ask me, I have ability to teach, but I cannot talk in the camera. I cannot talk in I can talk to a huge audience, that is not a problem, but if I talk to the camera, I feel odd, right? So the first thing is about skills, fear setting, right? So if you have hesitations or coming into the digital space, a lot of people have psychological hurdles, right? So that is about skills. And some people are they seek approvals. What will others think about me? How will I look in the camera? People will comment me, I will have negative reviews. Some approvals, they want some approvals. If you are having all these things, these are blocks, right? And the third thing is people fear for failure, right? People fear for failure. I'm telling you, when you come online, the first thing you should expect is failure. I'm telling this very boldly. I have failed in many webinars. I have failed in many webinars. I have failed in many sales. I have failed in many business ventures. I have literally endured lots and lots and lakhs of losses. Nobody knows that, but if you are fearing for failure, you cannot achieve success. For seeking one success, you have to go through 10 failures. That is the formula here, right? So this online, if you want to become a digital leader, this is not for the weak hearted. You have to have a mind of a warrior, right? That is fear setting. Fear setting. The second is goal setting. Like I told you, a rudderless boat, you cannot reach something without a goal, right? If I ask you a question, do you know your financial goal for this year? Do you know your growth plans for this year? Do you know how you should expand your influence in this year? If you are a trainer, do you know how you can expand your audience? Do you know how you can grow? So that is goal setting. Now you have to set some goals. Warren Buffett, the investor, the great investor, he said that an idiot with a plan can beat a genius without a plan. You can see in the display if it is clear, right? So the first two things are fear setting and goal setting, right? So I want you to write in your notes now. Whatever you write in your notes is for you, right? So it's, you are talking to you, right? So you can write what skills you want to get into the camera, right? And why if some approval seeking is blocking you, right? So as a digital leader, you will be mocked, you will be ridiculed, you will be thrown out of, people will not approve your face immediately. You will have lot of people will, you will be a subject of gossips, right? So, and fear of failure. In this first line, what is your hurdle? Please write it down. You need not show it to anyone, but you can, this is a personal note, right? So second thing is goal setting. Just ask yourself if you have a goal for 6 months or 3 months, right? So a meaningful pursuit of short term goals is what makes lives interesting. I have a webinar next week. I'm getting excited for that. I'm having a webinar, I have to prepare, and it fills my day. A lot of efforts go beyond the webinar. You might not know that thousands of iterations goes into preparing a PPT, right? So meaningful pursuit of short term goals gives you a goal, right? Nothing else gives you a goal. And if you have continuous streams of short term goals, it becomes a long term goal, right? So these two are very important before you venture into anything. So if you don't have these first two things, fix it. Otherwise nothing will change, right? Even if you are a very great speaker, a very great cameras present speaker, nothing is going to change if the first two are hurdle. If you don't have a goal, you are a rudderless boat. If you are still in fear, and if you are seeking continuous approvals from your crowd, that is not going to happen, right? So at the final slide, at the end of this webinar, I'll tell you a story where you can see all these things, how you will get reaction from your crowd. And the fourth thing is creative writing skills. You have to write a lot. You have to write letters, you have to write emails, you have to write camera scripts, you have to write PPT scripts. The entire PPT, the organization, I slept with this idea for a long period, for many years, many months, and that is why it came out. And the fifth thing is sales skills, selling skills, right? Just because something is good, people are not going to buy it, right? So only, even a kid, if it is crying only, the mother will give the milk. Now that is true thing, right? So irresistible offers. You have to have a talent to give freebies. When you are providing a service, you should be able to productize it, right? So you should associate with rates, discounts, negotiation. You should be good in negotiation. You should understand the market psychology, and then people will buy from you. And then only the course or whatever, consulting services or mentorship or tools or softwares or products, anything, if you sell, it will sell, right? So this is the skill set. These are the 5 skill set you should master. These 5 skill set, if you're attaining mastery, then the first step begins, right? So up to this, are you clear with the skill set? Can you type skills clear, please? Skills clear, thank you so much. Right, Monica, Smarty, skills clear, Karthikeyan, Shamshi, yes, thank you so much. Right, we'll move on to the next slides. Right, so I'm going to talk to you about a journey towards being an authentic and noble digital leader. Right, so don't read the slides, just read the first line. A journey towards being an authentic and noble digital leader or a teacher. Right, the first, these are the 7 rules. You can call this as rules. You can be whomever you want. If you are a teacher at heart, these are the first things. Your audience is the priority, not you, right? And second thing is, you are not striving for flashy fame, right? In the internet, you can see people coming in cars, wearing good dresses, right? So flashy fame is not the ideal. Contribute true value, right? If you are running a organization or if you want to contribute some crowd, contribute to an audience, give something which will be of value to them. The third thing is, earning money is not the goal. Becoming richer at heart is the goal. This is why it is named as Teach and Grow Rich, right? This is the richness I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the money. You have several ways to fail in this method, right? So but if you're serious at heart, if you're serious at committing, earning money will become easiest, right? The fourth thing is, if you are an expert in something, right? If you're a coach or if you're a trainer, you don't call yourself as an expert. An expert doesn't call himself as an expert. Always being a beginner and learning with humility is what I'm talking to the to you, right? So that is a quality of authenticity. That is a quality of authentic, noble digital leaders, right? So leaders are always beginners. Leaders are always readers. They read a lot of books. They gain continuous knowledge. The fifth point is, money will always flow. If your students or clients, victory is the goal, right? If you want others to win, automatically money will flow. There is no, I have seen this in my life so well, right? If my clients are getting PhD, if my clients research papers are getting published, they pay me. I don't even ask the money, they pay us, right? The sixth point is, some people think they, since they are good in some subjects, they can become leaders, digital leaders, right? Leadership is not a joke. It is a lifetime commitment. You cannot come back. Once you are committed, either you will fail or you have to keep fighting. You have to keep fighting. You will be the subject of ridicule. You will be the subject of mockery. You will be subject of hatreds, comments. People for no reason will hate you. There is a percentage which says that 8 to 12% of people will hate you for no reason. Simply they will hate you, right? So leadership is not a joke. It is not for everyone. It is not for the weak hearted, right? So your life is going to change if you enter into the digital arena. Digital arena will demand many things. Your crowd will demand many things from you, and to become a hero, you need mentors, right? So you can see even the fictional characters like Spider-Man, Batman, right? Or you can take some historical examples. Every hero in the history of humanity had mentors, right? So if you think you can do everything on your own, you are mistaken, right? You are false. It is a fact, right? So these are the 7 rules. Can you type 7 rules clear if you are with me, please? We are going into the next slide. 7 rules clear. Yes, thank you so much. Almu, right? Minaj, thank you. Right. Right. So I'm going to go into the stages. I told you there are 5 stages of activities you need to know, you need to do. And I'll quickly go through this 5 stages. These are the 5 stages you should be doing to become a digital leader. The first thing is you should build authority or build audience, right? So how many of you are having some audience or an email list, to whom you will teach? Say I have audience. If you don't have audience, say type no audience. That is good. That means you are in stage 1. I have audience. Good, good. Karthikeyan. Okay, good. Right. I'm not asking the size of the audience. See, size of the audience doesn't matter. Your authority matters. Even for a person or for 1,000 person, a leader is a leader, right? So first thing is authority. The second thing is you need to advertise, not to create fame, but to create awareness that you exist. People should know such a leader is existing. That is the purpose of advertising, right? So that is the second stage. You have certain set of activities to do in this stage too. And the third thing comes the curriculum development. Some people say this should be the first thing. This cannot be the first thing. Everybody can prepare a curriculum. If you ask me to teach some any book, I can develop a curriculum. I can divide it into 3 parts. Even if I don't have knowledge, if you give me some 2 or 3 months, I can do it, right? So this is the third stage of curriculum development, is third stage, but it is an intense stage. It is a huge stage. And the fourth thing is technology implementation. This is the fundamental of digital, for becoming a digital leader. Fundamental, right? So the fourth stage is fundamental. And the fifth stage is making money or serving, monetizing, serving the community, serving your audience so that they will pay you back, right? So they will make you live, right? It applies to anything. It applies to teachers, professors, evangelists, coaches, right? So the community pays you, and that way you serve to the clients, right? So in Tamil there is a saying, makkal seveye mageshan sevai. When you serve people, it is a service to God, right? So our your audience, right? So I want you to type in which stage are you in right now, which stage are you in right now, right? So we will have a 3-minute break. And you can, with the name and email ID, you can, if you have stored this number, I want you to know, I want you to type in which stage do you think you are in, with name and email ID, right? Which stage do you think you are in? Right. So we will take a quick 3-minute break and come exactly by 7:55. Yes, can you see me and hear me? I'm going for the next session. Can you type a yes? Yes. Yes, thank you for being with me. Right, so I want you to WhatsApp me also, right? So whatever is your stage, we will take it from there, right? So I'll quickly go into the stages, into these stages. See, this is where uh, this webinar gets intense, right? So I want you to take real notes. I'm going to talk about the activities you have to do if you are in stage 1, or if you are in stage 2, or if you are in stage 3 or 4 or 5, right? So this is where this gets, I'm going to condense a huge information into one slide, right? So I want you to take snapshot of these slides and note down the activity that you want to do immediately. Prioritize it. Prioritizing is important. So you will see a list of activities, you will see a long list of activities, but I want you to choose one. I want you to choose one from your stage. If you are in third stage, pick one. If you are in second stage, pick one. If you are in fourth stage, pick one activity at a time. And once that is completed, you can move to the next activity. And the thing is, I have given the activities in a certain order, right? It is not a random, clumsy, points. I have given in certain order of execution. So if you execute in that order, you will have definitely results. You can quickly enter into the digital arena, right? So the first stage, this is, if you are not in the first stage, you can stay relaxed. You need not note it down. Some people are in the third stage, right? So the first thing is, you need to provide some free sample to your audience. This is the first thing you should do. If you want to become an authority leader, you have to give for free. You have to give chocolates, not the real chocolates, something for their mind. Something for their mind. The reason I'm giving this webinar itself is this. I'm telling you, do these certain things, it will be helpful. I'm authentically telling you, this is free. This webinar is free. All my efforts are free. So that is what is called as leading by example. Leading by example, and not by titles. Not by titles. Those days are over. In those days, if there is a post named principal, everyone has a fear. Now people asks the authenticity. How many papers he has published, how many conferences he has attended, what is his field of expertise. So building authority, you have to write a book, or you have to provide a video, audio, ebook, right? So, and in exchange to that, you have to ask their email IDs, right? So you can build a list of email IDs, so that you can communicate with them frequently, right? So if you have their email ID, as I was talking, this is about digital leadership, right? We are not getting their addresses, we are getting their email addresses, right? So the second thing you want is a bulk email sending tool, which is not Gmail, which is not Yahoo Mail, which is not Rediff Mail. The second thing is bulk email sending tool. If you don't have one, or if you don't invest in one, you cannot reach multiple audiences. And multiple audiences cannot be taken personally. It has to be taken as a serious business, right? So if you have 1,000, if you people in the third stage and fourth stage, can you type the audience number of audiences you have, and that is your target audience, your crowd, your congregation, your students. Can you type your numbers? The video is not recorded, Taniginathan. Why do you think it is recorded? I'm sitting live here. Yes, 260, right? So we'll take 200 as an example. If your audience size is 200, it is a huge crowd. More than 50 is a huge crowd, right? So you have to have a bulk email sending tool, bulk SMS sending tool, and the fourth thing is, I want you to take notes instead of asking this video is recorded or not. This is serious stuff. I'm talking to you actually, right? The fourth thing is a professional website with a payment gateway. the professional website with a payment gateway. People will pay you through this. You cannot every time give your bank account to pay, right? So this is a very important thing. And then you have to have a professional Facebook page, YouTube channel, Instagram page. I'm not saying account. Did you see Facebook account is different, Facebook page is different, and LinkedIn page and a webinar platform specially for you. This is the stage one. If you don't have any of these things, even if you have type stage 3, you are still in stage 1 only. If you don't have anything in these things, any one of the thing is lagging, you are still in stage 1, right? So can you I'm going to the next slide. Can you type stage 1 clear if you are understanding? This is awareness webinar. I'm just giving you the activities to do, the things, the tools to do. Stage 1 clear. Yes, Tani, will it be available for further? Yes, we will send you a recording of this, definitely. Stage 1 clear. Thank you, Sam. Yes, I'm receiving many stage 1 clear. Cool. Right, we'll move to the stage 2, awareness. Right, there are 7 stages in stage 2. Right, so first thing is you have to create a Facebook ad for yourself, for selling these things, for selling a PDF or a video or audio book, or for selling a webinar, or for selling, to pull people into this website. You have to do a Facebook advertisement. Everybody is in the Facebook, so that is the reason it is given in the first place, right? So creating Facebook ads. The second thing is you have to create a trailer video for your product or for yourself, trailer video. And then you should have a good photo shoot. You should have one good photo, that is fine. People should see you. On camera they will see you, but people should have one clear good photo shoot, one photo. People, I'm not talking about the flashy branding stuff these fake gurus are doing. Internet is filled with fake people. You can identify fake people with their dresses and cars and uh, their Photoshop things, right? So a good photo will do. Professionally designed Instagram post, podcast and webinar gadgets, microphones. I use a headset. This is a headset I use, and this is a good headset, decently good headset, microphone and a camera. My laptop's camera is good enough, right? So but many laptop cameras are not good. You have to fix an external camera, right? So cameras. LinkedIn networking, you have to get inside LinkedIn. Serious people are inside LinkedIn. You may be anything, coach, trainer, professor, anybody. You have to have networks to project yourself. And the seventh thing to create awareness that you exist is to write a book, a e-book or a PDF or a small book or a mini book, anything, right? So these are the 7 activities that you need to do on stage 2, right? So when I say these 7 things, it is intense. Creating Facebook ads itself is an intense activity. You cannot complete in a day. It takes a lot of time, right? So, and trailer video creation takes time. Professionally designed Instagram post takes time. Yes, small Instagram, personal Instagram post doesn't take time. Podcast, webinar gadgets cannot make a good podcast or webinar. You have to prepare behind that. So there are a lot of time involved. Right, so stage 2 clear. Can you type it if you are understanding the depth of the situation? If you are understanding the depth. Yes, Karthikeyan is asking, what do you mean by professionally designed post? A professionally designed post will not look like a personally designed post. Personally you can take a selfie and put. So when it comes to professionally designed post, even your photos should be particularly taken by a professional. That is what we say. Right, so now even though you have a lot of tools for creating videos, Facebook ads and other things, it should come from a hand of a professional. That is what I say, right? Stage 2 clear. Thank you so much. Right, right? So this is stage 3. Stage 3, you can do or you can outsource it, right? You can outsource it to your similar people. If you feel that they will be able to do certain things, you can outsource it. Every course, everything in life can be divided into 3 things: the beginning stage, intermediate, or expert. That is how even our lives are defined: childhood, adulthood, and matured, old age, right? So the same thing, expert, beginner, intermediate, expert. If you can divide everything into 3, that is a talent you have, right? So if you are a networking professional, if you are a church leader, if you are a coach, if you are a trainer, if you are a teacher, if you are a professor, whomever you will have 3 types of audiences in your crowd. You will have 3 types of audiences: beginner, of the, the learning stage is so primitive, right? So they will not take things easily. Intermediate is some interested people. Last few people are, they are very hungry to learn the advanced concepts, right? So if you are designing a, imagine someone is creating artificial intelligence course, right? So uh, think about the beginning stage. You have to level up the courses. Level 1, you can only put the content where the beginner will only consume it. Who will consume the level 2? Who consumes level 3? So if you are able to put 3 levels of courses, that is a talent. And the second thing is about materials preparations. The first thing is you have to frame a complete syllabus for these 3 categories: beginner, intermediate, and expert. The same syllabus cannot be applicable to everyone, right? The same syllabus is not applicable to everyone. You have to have 3 syllabi. Yes, 3 syllabi you should have, right? So for beginner there is a syllabus, for intermediate learner there is a syllabus, and for expert there is a syllabus. Even, from the same class, if you're teaching 50 students, these are the 3 categories of people, right? So, and then videos again for the 3 categories. That is where I told you this is a huge part. This stage 3, it sometimes takes years. It takes years. And the things which appear, simpler, are actually complex at the behind, from the behind. Say for example, Facebook and Google search, it looks so simple, but at the back end you do not know how much computations are going on, right? So if something is appear, I have put it in 5 stages. It might even take 5 years for you. It might take 5 months for you. It might take 5 days for you. I don't know. It depends upon your own expertise. And the third thing is, if you have a crowd already, if you have crossed stage 1 and 2, you will already have a community learning platform, right? So we use webinars as a community learning platform. Now I'm the reason, I'm talking to multiple people now, right? So in our community, in aristocrat research, we have 1 lakh people, almost nearing to 1 lakh people, 1 lakh plus actually. So the learning platform becomes 3 sets: beginner, intermediate, and experts. We have doctorates in our community, we have research scholars, we have students. That is the 3 part we have in our community. And when I call for a webinar, people are so hungry, at least 3,000 people turn out. And the webinar platform, they allow only 250 people. They rush into the programs. So when you have hungry people to learn in these 3 categories, these things, this syllabus preparation, all those things will be falling into your mind. So if you're clear in what I spoke about stage 3, please type stage 3 clear. We'll go into stage 4. Yes, Karthikeyan has asked a question. I feel that material or content preparation should be from our side. If it is from your side, if you are able to put a lot of efforts, that is very, very good. Actually, it should be from you, right? But I'm talking about busy people, or if you want to develop multiple courses, you have to give it to other people. In my community, my employees, I encourage people to create their courses. this is the thing I was talking to them. The stage 3, you can they can develop on their own for the 3 categories. So I asked them to prepare 90 days plan, right? So you can divide the syllabus. Good question, Karthikeyan, thank you so much. Stage 3 clear. If it is clear, please type stage 3. Right, thank you. Right, thank you. Right, so stage 4 is the fundamental of digital leadership, right? So professional website with a payment gateway, that is important. How will you get money then? With the payment gateway, you should have that payment gateway, and then you have to keep on nurturing them, keep on sending emails, a good writing. You have a lot of writing to do. Previously people used to write letters, magazines, right? When I was a kid, I used to receive a lot of magazines to my home, right? So my parents are good readers, they read a lot of magazines. So email sequence is the norms now, right? You have to keep on sending, you have to keep on reminding that you are there, right? So this is again stage 1, authority or audience building. You are creating awareness to them about your course or about your mission, about your mission in life, right? So it may be teaching, it may be building a community, building a congregation, something like that. And then ads copywriting, you should write advertisements a lot. Some people have a negative connotations about advertisements. Without advertisements you will not even buy a toothbrush. Advertisements are so key in life. Anything you see around your room, a water bottle, a car, everything came to your home through advertisements. How will you go? You should penetrate this digital medium through advertisements only, right? So if you have negative connotations to advertise yourself, you have to drop it. You have to advertise it. That is the way you create awareness to the others, and your advertisement should be pleasing to others, instead of provoking some comments, negative comments or something like that. Be authentic, that is the point here. And fourth thing is graphic designing for materials and post. Fifth thing is video editing. All these things you can do it on your own, but if you have a good professionally designed graphics, if you have a professionally good edited video, that is good. And course content document preparation, right? So there are platforms, course content platforms. I should put platforms. Yes, course content platforms. So where will you put all your course? It can be it can be a PDF or a video or audio or ebook that you have recorded or written. Where will you put these things? You will put these things in course content platforms, right? So I'm giving you awareness of the things or activities you need to do. I'm not getting into the depth of the tools, tool names, which platform is good. I'm not getting into that, right? So if this stage is stage 4, if you have got some idea about the intensity or the depth of things you need to do if you want to get into a digital arena or as a digital leader, if this stage 4 is somewhat clear, or can you please type a comment now? Stage 4 clear. We are moving fast. Right. I want you to take notes. What is the first thing important? That is what I told you in the beginning. Write one thing which you feel is very, very important. Write one thing. That is the action point for today. Write one thing. Right. Stage 4 clear. Alvin, thank you. Monica, clear. Yes, thank you. Right. So stage 5 is about the important thing. Is about monetizing your knowledge or sharing your knowledge to make money, right? So the first thing is you have to do digital marketing. That is where the social media is, and search engines are where your students are there, right? So they live in social media, they live in search engines, so you should be there. You should be there, right? Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, to your audience in your own budget. If you can spend 500 rupees, you can reach a smaller people, and say for 500 rupees you can reach 100 people. You cannot reach 100 people, but I'm giving you an example. For 1,000 rupee, if you're reaching 100 people, only 10 people will accept your offer, will click your your advertisements, and only 2 people will get converted, right? 2 people will buy, or even one, one, at least 1% maybe your conversion. So this is a rule of the internet. Just because something is flashy on the internet, don't think everybody is buying it, right? The buying ratio in the internet is 1%, right? And in our community, the buying ratio is 3%. Out of 100 people seeing our website, 3 people buys, which is a huge percentage. Some people, when I say this, they laugh, but that is the reality. If 3% of people are buying your products, or buying you, if 3% of people are buying you, that is a big success, right? I'll come to that. I'll tell it with a story, right? Inspired from a book, right? So the third thing is, you need a enterprise resource planning software. If you're starting small, it is not needed. You can monitor manually, right? So I have put 3 words you can see: to monitor, track, and quantify, right? So you have to monitor who is coming to your website. You have to track who is coming to your website, who bought your product, who did not buy your product, right? So, and then you have, and who bought your product, you can quantify it: how many sales you made, how many courses you sold, right? So if you're having a ERP software, many things can be automated. Say for example, you all might have received an email about starting of the webinars. This webinar is going to start. You might have received you must have received a email, and that is automated. We did not send it. We set the time, and it is blasted to 80,000 people today, right? So that is how automation works. Without automation, when you grow your audience, it is literally impossible to manage. The fifth thing is, if your business is growing, or if you are selling so much, you can write a pitch deck for somebody who can invest. You can call upon investors, you can call upon collaborators, right? So that is how big organizations grow. They call upon collaborations, they investors, angel investing. So that is the last part of enlarging your business, right? So this is the fifth part. If you have not started with stage 1, stage 5 is going to happen in 6 or 7 years, not immediately, right? So I have condensed these things. I'll go. Stage 1 is authority building or audience building. Stage 2 is creating awareness that you exist in the arena. Third is developing your syllabus or course. And fourth is the tools and technologies and softwares that you will use for everything, automation included. And fifth is how you make money without without hindrances, or without what do you say? There is a word for that. Without slabs, right? Without slabs. You can quantify it, scale it. So as your business grows, the monetizing power also grows. And as you serve community, the audience grows, you can serve more people. Ultimately, that is your life's mission. Everybody's life mission is that. We all have missions, right? So we all have missions. If you don't have one, you have to create one. That is the thing I told you in this one, goal setting, right, in this slide. So quickly, these are the skills and these are the stages. And you should I have completed 2 parts now. I initially I tried to prepare your mind, and then I told you the stages, right? So I have sown some seeds in your mind, right? So this is the fate of the seeds, right? So this is taken from Matthew's book in the Bible, right? So this is a story of a farmer, or a sower, or a digital teacher, or leader, right? So you imagine you have a large farmland with a huge market. Imagine this is a farmland with a huge market. You are sowing huge quantity of seeds throughout the farmland. That is called as contributed value. You sow a lot of seeds. Like I gave you entire 5-stage processes. I gave you for free. I didn't charge you for this, right? So this contributed value gives a fate of good seeds. I have sown good seeds, And these seeds will, some of the some people will not accept it because they won't have fertile soil. This is a rule of the universe. That is the reason I told you, even 1% sale, 3% sale is a very big thing. And some people will stamp on your, they will have little fertile soil, they will take your knowledge, they will not survive so long, they will slander it, they will misuse it, right? And some seeds, some values what you give to your community will be stamped, right? So you will be disregarded as a leader. These are all norms. Some seeds will sprout and immediately they will be burnt, right? Only a few seeds fell on the fertile soil where they will grow and multiply, right? So this is a story from the Bible, right? So this is a story told by Jesus. That is how it is written in the book of Matthew, right? So when you enter into the digital arena, you should know that only a very few people will become a digital leader, right? And only a very few students will stay with you, right? So the amount of sowing the seeds should be large. That is the thing I want to say. That is where these things comes into play, right? So these things, bulk email, bulk SMS, right? So this story is 200. This is a parable from the Bible. Parable means analogies used by Jesus when he is preaching, right? So this story is 2000 years old, and it is still this is true even today. You can see that only very few people, only very few will have a good mentality. That is why I told you, sowing seeds is my duty, and the growth will be very less, and 80% depends on the mindset. 80% depends on the psyche of. That is why I told you I'm preparing fertile soil so that I can sow these 5 seeds. These stages are seeds, right? Right. So right. So I want you to write some feedback about this. We have approached the end, right? So the next stage is getting ready to grow, right? So I asked you to take some notes. You can WhatsApp your notes, action points. It will be kept in strict confidence. Use your name and email ID, and we will take it from there, right? So we are ready to help. We have a very good team to who can implement all these stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So I want you to send these action points that you have taken, or if you have written some notes, snapshot it and send it. We can have a chat afterward. And I have 2 questions for you to think. Can you feel the depth now, to build a strong future credibility in the digital business arena and the digital leadership arena? If the answer is yes, can you please type yes? I would like to see how much you have received. Could you list a few free open source ERP softwares? Karthikeyan is asking. Yes, Karthikeyan, I will tell you about ERP softwares. Right. Yes, this answer is for Karthikeyan. Right. So see, we human, not human, we Indians have a tendency to resorting to freebies every time. Right. Free ERPs are there, but it will have limitations of numbers, and it will have so much of limitation. It will not allow you to fly. Right? So invest in ERPs. We use Zoho ERP. I'm not promoting them. I'm just telling. I don't promote any products. I don't sell anything. We do consulting. So if you ask help, we'll help you. We will receive a service charge for that. Right? I don't sell any products. Yes, thank you, Sam. It is very, he says, very much informative. Right? So it's not about information. The second, yes, I'll come to this. Right? So it's about your commitment and dedication, right? So I have seen people consuming a lot from the internet. They compare the YouTube stars, right? So they consume a lot of. When will you stop consuming? That is my question. When will you stop seeing YouTubes? When will you stop seeing movies? When will you stop seeing medias, memes? Right? Start contributing. Learn for your own. Become a leader. A leader can learn only for himself. He cannot consume every information that comes to him, right? So I want you to take a low information diet, right? So that is very, very important. Low information diet is very, very important, right? So stop consuming, stop learning. The internet is full of courses and stuffs like that. Learn only the thing which you want to do, right? So mentor-led experiential real-time collaborative learning and doing, that is what we are providing, right? So we are more focused on taking you to the digital leadership. I'm not teaching you to go on your own. We are teaching as well as, this is a collaborative learning. So I will be giving links. You will receive continuous mails for our future webinars also. We have your email ID, and it will be it will be safe with us, right? So we have a strict confidentiality policy. You need not worry about your information. So this is collaborative learning and doing, and this is the last call for you, right? So we will get connected from this number personally, and my team will interact with you. You don't forget to type in your name and email ID. We also have your email ID. Type your name, type your names, and WhatsApp us. I have received many comments, but I want you to type in the WhatsApp, right? So you can even just start with a test message, right, to this number. Right. So for a brief moment, I will open the question and answers. You can type your questions if you have any. For a brief moment, you can type Q&A, and we also will be trying to reply you through emails. And this webinar is recorded, and you will receive the replay of this. I have recorded the entire session. So later we will be editing it. Some parts we will cut, and we'll put some images and stuff. But the raw video will be given to you as replay, and time is 8:27, and I thank every person as of now who is attending. A very big thank you for your time, right? So this time investment you made, this time investment I made, we will definitely have results. We will be blessed for that. There is no doubt for that, right? So this is the last thing I want to end. There is a difference between interests and commitment, right? So if you're interested in creating a course, nothing is going to happen. If you're interested in building a big community, nothing is going to happen, right? If you're committed, something will happen, right? So show your commitment by contacting us. Where is that slide? Yes, it's here. Take your journey to the next level. WhatsApp your action points or snapshot and send your action notes with name and email, right? So thank you so much for listening to me. It's my pleasure, right? So I'm signing off now. Before that, if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer for a brief moment, and after that we will reply through a email, right? So I'll read some of the comments. Thank you, sir, the session was very informative. I did not get the video of last webinar. Okay. We have your email ID. We will blast you all the sessions. Suppose if I want to create material and I take pics and few exercises. 1 second. It's running fast, these comments. I don't know. Right. So how many of you got some benefits, some value out of this information? Say I got. How many? I had many queries regarding transition to become a digital. Thankfully, all were cleared by this session. Thank you, Shamsi. Right. So, there is a huge industry that is conning people, conning gullible people with courses to learn how to get into digital leaderships, right? Don't buy those courses. Those are fake gurus. They will teach you the exact thing what I told you here, right? And they will not give you any services. They are just selling something, right? So thank you so much. I have got many positive feedbacks. Thank you so much for your time. Some comments have gone fast. I'm unable to scroll it. We will reach you through the email, and please WhatsApp us. That is the first step of your journey. However small it is, we will take it from there, right? Thank you. Thank you so much for the time. I'm signing off now, right? Thank you.